Hey guys, got a cool little video today. I recently ordered a bunch of sort of Warhammer-esque things off of Temu, so we'll be kind of going over some of those. This was $3.50. It was like it's a Red Sonja mini, and as you'll see in a little bit, it is actually slightly larger than like a Warhammer scale. This would be a good thing to like practice painting like skin tones or whatever. But you can see like it came in two pieces, and it's got all the support stuff on it, which is the only one that does that. But the detail is actually really nice. This next thing here is another mini, similar in size and scale. Let me see if I get the price. This is like a emperor they called it the Empress of Mankind. I thought it was like a Sisters of Battle, but it's it's supposed to be like a female emperor type mini. And this, you can see like where a lot of the supports are. It needs some cleaning up, which is how most of these are going to be. But yeah, this is another cool mini. It's a little larger than Warhammer, as you'll see in a moment here. This one was like $12.65, so it did cost a good bit more than the other one. But the detail is really nice. You see, it's a lot taller than a Primaris Space Marine. So now, and here's the Red Sonja mini. Obviously, she's down on the base, but I'll try and get the feet lined up. Again, it's about the same height as the other one, maybe a little shorter. Then this was $11.03. This might be the best value I've gotten at all so far, pretty much. It's a 5-man squad of some Black Templar-esque Space Marines, and they're closer to firstborn size, but they're like kind of right there in between. So yeah, here's a guy that's got a plasma pistol and a power sword. And you see they're, legally distinct, but pretty much they're like, you can easily use these as proxies for some Black Templars. Let's use another guy. He's got a flamer pistol and a power axe, and you can see the detail on these is like, I was genuinely surprised how good the detail on these were, how clean these were. Like, so far none of the minis themselves have like any noticeable like layer lines and stuff, so they're using pretty good resin printers for these. They do still have like support stuff you have to clean up, and a couple spots you have to sand here and there, but I mean, that's not that big of a deal. And I like the bases on these too, where it's like a stone like pattern base. It's another guy with a power hammer. It's a whole squad of 5 for $11. So if you're looking for some now I don't know if like they designed some of these themselves, if they're just ripping these from other like 3D print sites, so just keep that in mind if you go to order some of this stuff yourself. Here you can see them compared to like a Primaris Space Marine. The base size is the same, but yeah, they're pretty close in size. And this was a little more, almost $19. It is one mini. It did break, and I don't know what you would even proxy this thing for. It's just a cool mini. It's like a very, very small, almost like War Master Titan. See, it is pretty small, but the detail is crazy. And that's why it broke, because it is kind of fragile, I would assume. And it does have like little like supports and stuff here and there you got to break off, but it's just one of those, like, I wasn't sure really how big it was or how detailed it was. I was just trying to see like, what is this going to be like. But yeah, I mean, this thing would be a cool little paint project. All these would be. Those will all be separate, future videos whenever I get to them. Here's the claw arm. That's one of the things that broke off, that in the foot. Then we got two more big things. $13.74 is what I paid for this. This was one of the things that really got me into ordering this stuff. Is a Leman Russ. I'm not sure how close to the actual Leman Russ it is, like in design and shape. It don't look like, it's hard to tell just going off pictures, but I mean that's what it is. Definitely, you can kind of see. I do plan on at some point later on in the year, or maybe even next year, buying an actual Leman Russ tank and doing like a side by side and probably painting them together in the same video. And here's like all the weapons, the sponson weapons, the main turret, and the little las cannon for the front. These are some places where you can see that there is some, like, the vehicles have a lot more noticeable line layering, but there's barely like any support like spots anywhere, so they cleaned all that up really good. And this is just symbols. It's just there's two little pegs in that bag that line up in those holes, those square holes, and it just lines everything up. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting these guys thrown together. But I do have one more, and this is something I was really excited for. You see like here in the back, there's some really bad layer lines. I think that's just the vehicles. They're probably using like a filament printer, and so stuff just has. It's like a lower resolution stuff that has worse lines. This is like a little bulldozer thing that I've seen on some like Lehman Russ's came with it. I assume this is where it goes, right here in the middle in the front like that. And then finally, 1745. This is probably the coolest thing. It is a like 90s Chaos Land Raider. It came all in one piece. It does have pretty bad layer lines and does need a good bit of like sanding work, but I mean, it's pretty sweet. Like, it did come up. They like, you could tell it was made as like multiple pieces, and they kind of put it all together. But I mean, but yeah, it definitely has more the proportions of the old Land Raiders. Here it is next to the Predator tank that I got, and same with the Lehman Russ. I'll kind of show it like in scale next to that. So it's in scale with Warhammer tanks. I mean, especially this Lehman Russ is almost the same size as this Predator. Land Raider's definitely a bit chunkier, which I do have a Land Raider as well. So you can see here, so it's not as long. They're a little more square shaped and maybe even a little taller. But they're pretty much the same width and height, almost. Yeah, they're close to the same height. But yeah, if you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and come back for more. We got all kinds of videos coming up. So I'll see y'all in the next one.